I would like to ask Yannick to develop on that a bit, and also the question how the poverty and then the economic problems, also a comment from your side, could be solved more or less. I don't think so. It is possible to do it very quickly. Please.
Thank you. I will build on what Vladimir was ending with. I think we're much in line. Well, first of all, so let me thank you for the invitation. It's a wonderful audience here. Last night already at the reception I had some interesting discussions, and I hope to have more during the day. The organizers yesterday asked me to be, as an NGO, specific and provocative, so that's what I'm going to do today. I guess that's also the role of an NGO. Our organization has been working 18 years in conflict states, all of those years also in Bosnia and in Kosovo, on youth employment and stabilization issues, and they're very much related. I think the World Development Report of the World Bank, they did a study amongst combatants of rebel groups, and they asked them, why are you a rebel? And 40% answered, because I didn't have a job. And 16% said, because of an ideology. Then they asked members of gangs and organized crime, so why are you a member of an organized crime group? And they say, 46% says, because I didn't have a normal job. And I think it was 8% because of ideology. So economic development, youth employment in these kind of countries is really the key. In many of these countries also there is an enormous amount of youth, especially Kosovo, where I'm going to focus on. 75% I think of the youth under 35. And it very much links into stability. So if there's no stability, there is more unemployment and vice versa. So it's a vicious circle. Well, my position here today, my provocative position, is that the flagship of the EU Common Foreign and Security Policy, EULEX, the biggest foreign mission of Europe in Kosovo, is making water. It might actually be sinking, especially regarding the northern part of Kosovo. That matters for our line of work, for socio-economic development, because without rule of law, there is no socio-economic development. I think we can have all kinds of good laws, we can have multiple projects, but without a good rule of law framework, it is impossible to build development. Well, why is that so? I think it was already mentioned also by Jan Marinus earlier. I think the bottom line is because Europe is divided. 25 member states recognized Kosovo, 5 didn't. So what law is the mission implementing? Is it the Kosovo law? Well, 5 member states don't think so. Is it the former UN law? 25 don't think so. And then you have a mission that has to try to determine, for example, in the northern part of Kosovo, which is territorial disputed, what law the court should be employing. That leads to a situation that if we or any social actor in that northern part of the country there, or southern part of the Serbian province, depending on your political position, has a problem, there is no court. You cannot go to court in that part of Kosovo. And we've seen that the European Union has been unable to deal with that problem. Also operationally, I think the European Union has had trouble to build up a large operational structure. I think they haven't been able to build very much on, for example, the experience of the United Nations, who has a much longer experience in operating, putting down policing missions. So the result has been also operationally that, for example, when we have security incidents in that part of Kosovo, it took last time 5 weeks after a very violent arson attack on a school building that we were building. We had an attack on a school building by a militia, basically, and it took them 5 weeks to enter the building, and it was only after a letter from, amongst others, Mr. Svoboda here. And so you can imagine if you're a local NGO how long it would take them to come. And the reason was because it is unsafe, because it's a no-go area, and because there is a lot of dispute about if it's safe for the policing mission to enter that part of Kosovo. Yes, so both we see a problem with the political division of Europe, we see a operational problem, and of course, because there is no rule of law, then the socio-economic development ceiling is very low. It's very difficult to then deliver services to to the community. So at the moment, in practice, to be again specific, it means that we as an NGO are hiring private security firms. I think in Italy you also had in Naples private security firms. I think they were called mafia groups. We are informing the European policing mission of this formally, and they are not able to provide a better alternative. Now, maybe that's very micro, but I think it goes to the bottom. It means that the population in these areas do not trust, don't have any more faith, or very small faith in what they see as a very important, potentially very important phase of the European Union. So I think the mission has suffered trust because of its political and operational issues. Why does it matter? Well, I think for the purpose of the debate today, it matters not only because of the human dimension, we're all social democratic, it also matters because it's the largest foreign policy mission of the European Union. And it reminds me sometimes of the former Luxembourg minister in '92 in the Bosnia crisis saying it's the hour of Europe. Kosovo, I think really we need to worry, we need to work harder. There have been some very interesting initiatives. Carl Bildt recently has called for a higher level political debate, so I agree with the former speaker that we need to bring down the discussion to technical issues, but I think this issue also has reached its course. The technical discussion has had its course. I think it has to be upscaled to a higher political level to solve the issue of territorial dispute in the north part of Kosovo, which will not be easy, as it would require, point two, a more stronger unification on the political position of the European Union. And the final point that I have to make as an NGO, I really believe in it. I don't think there is proper accountability systems in place for these foreign missions. They answer formally to Brussels, to various structures, but I think there is very little insight in the operational affairs there, and there is a complete lack built in. There is no local accountability. So if you're a local citizen, you cannot hold your rule of law mission in your own country to account. So those would be my positions today.